welcome to the Alive and Free podcast. This is a community-based podcast where we feel like it's important to talk about what's going on among us, with us, for us, by us. You know what I mean? And teach everybody how to stay alive and free. I want to be alive and free.
Me too.
Okay?
Me too. Yeah.
And I think that it's so important that we have these conversations among those that relate to us, look like us,
Right.
can understand, right?
Right.
One of the things that I really want to get into is introducing everybody next to me.
Okay.
I'm Kelly. This is
Malcolm.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, there you go,
This is
I'm Teray.
come on, and y'all know him.
This dude right here?
Well, y'all know him.
I'm Jason Jordan, a.k.a. J. Joe. The one and only.
No, but we are people. I'm from here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Born and raised, born in Memorial Hospital. And there's so much that's changed about our community from when we were younger. And so much is going on with our young people. So much is going on with our adults.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think we were talking about the subject for today is going to be discipline.
Discipline.
I know that we all exercise it in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so important for us to understand what discipline is and what it means in our world. The way we discipline ourselves as far as eating, walking, moving,
Right.
modes, attitudes,
Yes.
the way we speak to one another. That's important, right?
Very.
So, as far as discipline, what would you say the impact is on our communities? Because we practice it, but maybe not in the ways that we should.
Mm-hmm.
We're disciplined about getting them shoes.
Definitely. Yeah, we are.
But
Yeah.
not our daily schedule.
Right?
Right. I guess we discipline what we want to be disciplined to.
Right?
Yeah, versus priorities.
I feel like we fight.
I think it's convenience over consistency.
Yeah.
That's good.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
There are so many ways now we argue. One of the things that I grew up with was like my grandmother, you walk in the room, you speak to everybody.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes. You better.
No matter who it was.
Shoe get flown at your head.
It didn't matter
You
if
do
you
something.
didn't know. If there's adults in the room, you walk
and they
in
give
and
you so many seconds and you don't do
Yeah.
it. I think you need to walk out and try again.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So, but now I feel like we make so much space for everybody to just, oh, well, you know, they're this way or that. And I'm like,
Right. Like, we accept too much. Yeah.
Yeah.
We accept them. Yeah,
Well, they
for what
free
is.
to this and they free
Right.
to that, and yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
I definitely understand that. I just had this talk with somebody yesterday about the kids with their phones, and I'm like, they're like, well, that's just how they are. I said, no, that's what we allow them to do.
Yeah.
Because again, part of discipline is like, nah, put that phone up.
Yeah.
You know, put that phone. Why you got your phone in school? First of all, I don't even let my kids have the phone in the car when I pick them up. And put that phone up.
No,
Put your iPad up. You don't need none of that. It's a whole movie outside. Go look outside.
Thank you.
You know, they know that now.
But
But
I've seen them have one. They're allowed to have one earbud
right,
in their ear
Yeah.
during class.
yeah, that's
What are you learning?
Ooh-wee.
He is over here.
That's a
he
whole nother
ain't
topic,
scared
ain't it?
now.
That's a whole nother topic, ain't it? Ooh-wee.
Well, I mean, I think y'all inadvertently are floating in between because it's different definitions of discipline. Right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's why I'm listening, but I'm also thinking like, oh, we ain't separating. You know what I mean? Because you started at self-discipline.
Yeah.
How we discipline ourselves.
And then
Right.
And then we kind of
disciplining
moved
of
into the corrective part, right? So
Right.
with discipline, you got your self-control, self-discipline.
Yep.
But you also have like learning, training.
Yes.
That's another form of
Yes.
discipline. And then of course you have correction, right?
Right.
Consequences for the actions you take.
Right.
So
Yeah.
just that was what was on my mind. As y'all, I was like,
Right.
look, we done slipped into a second or
Right.
third definition. Of what
Right,
discipline
right,
is.
right, right.
So,
But that's what we want to talk about.
Right.
All of it.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. The full scope. Yeah, I definitely get
well, and
with
it's
that.
all related though, right?
Yeah.
Because as
it all
y'all
starts.
talked about, like Jay talking about put the phone away, right? Because you don't have the self-discipline to do it.
Right.
It then transitions to corrective discipline.
Right.
Right. You got to impose now.
Right.
Right. Since y'all can't do it yourselves.
Right.
My rule: you get in the car.
Right.
Put them up.
Yeah, put them up.
So
I
Go
think
back to that.
now, like we justify what we want to deal with our own children.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, this okay because you have those parents that say, "Well, I did this, and that, so maybe that came from me." But it wasn't. Some things that we did wasn't right. So why would you want them to continue to carry on?
Right.
But so that's part of your own self-discipline of taking care of what you wasn't disciplined in and
Right.
not let it carry further. And so that's all part of that.
And it connected like back to like alive and free, as far as keeping the community and keeping people like with the mindset of being alive and free. discipline goes into that, because when we talk about setting a standard, right? And we talk about you're supposed to be respectful to your elders, and if you're not respectful to your elders, you will get disciplined by your elder. Right? And then as that time going, just like we saying, it's like you understood the way it's supposed to be, and you never went against that, because that's how you got molded into being respectful.
Yes.
So then, therefore, when we tie it back into the community, back into our youth, it's like that standard's not there. So when somebody tries to check a young man or check a young lady, like, what, you don't be talking to me like that. My daddy don't be talking. My mama don't be talking to me like that. Like, whoa, relax. I'm just trying to let you know, as an elder, you need to respect your elders when you come into a certain place.
That about yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
About like doing whatever you doing.
Yeah.
Certain person call your name, you
For
like,
sure. Yeah.
right,
Right.
right.
Because of that discipline that I got growing up to respect your elders, respect the surroundings where you at, you know. So it's like we gotta set those standards, and we have to establish that, and we gotta stand on that and be disciplined as parents, be disciplined as mentors, be disciplined as coaches and teachers and so forth to maintain that standard.
How do we redirect? How do we redirect in our community to, it doesn't have to be like it was, but to have some form, right, of that.
Right.
Because even with the kids that you know, sometimes they get comfortable. Like, I am of the class of, don't sit up and cuss around me like I'm one of your homies.
There you go. Yes,
right?
absolutely.
But I have noticed, even with the kids who are, I love you so much. I'm like, yeah, but then you disregard that we're in the same 5 feet of space.
Yeah.
And y'all talking like I'm not sitting right here.
Yes, absolutely.
You know,
yep, absolutely.
I'm right here.
Absolutely.
I don't want to keep hearing, oops, my
Right.
bad. How do we redirect something that just seems so far away? How do we create that?
I think taking the...
Go ahead. Well, I was going to say, before you get there,
Yeah.
as y'all were talking, I'm listening and thinking, what you're talking about is culture, though,
There you go.
right?
Yeah.
And so, just real quick, culture is the shared, very important set of beliefs,
Yes.
values, customs, behaviors, and artifacts that define a group or society, often passed down through generations.
Absolutely.
Right? So, keyword being shared, right? Values, customs, behaviors. So, like, part of my thinking is, because, you know, we kind of keep coming back to what has happened, what's wrong with these kids,
There you go.
et cetera, right?
There you go.
The culture has changed.
Yes.
Like, so I'm just saying we need to be aware of the fact that, how do I put this? Let me use an example of what I'm trying to say.
Go ahead.
In Africa, women's value is lower than a man's in certain areas.
Okay.
You understand the point? Like, African men may have more than one wife, and they sort of, as I understand it, almost look at them as property.
Correct.
So to our American ears and sensibilities, we like, well, that's wrong, right? But it's wrong to us. Like, to me, to say to someone from a different culture, you're wrong because of your shared beliefs, values, etc.
Right.
I feel like we done overstepped.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I
So,
see where you're going.
like, I'm just saying we need, if you're going to try to change something, I think you got to start from the standpoint of, do these people that we're trying to redirect, do they agree with the culture that we're trying to establish? Because if not, now you're just going to have conflict, right? If we go back to that example of the African, that brother might say to me, man, shut up. Who you talking to? You know who I am in my country?
Yeah, right. I understand.
So imagine, again, I'm 16. The values that have been established in me are, we don't snitch.
Right.
You know what I mean? Get money.
Right.
Get women.
Right.
Respect elders. That doesn't register. For
Right.
me,
Understood.
So
I see
I
where
think
you
it's
at.
important that we know going in. Again, same example. You go to that cat and be like, hey man, you need to recognize me. You liable to get something back in return.
Right.
So I just think it's important to recognize what we're talking about. Part of the issue, and I think Kelly has that. What has happened? What has happened? And it just hit me. I think one of it is a big cultural shift that our culture has changed.
I wanna pick with that a little bit because when I have a group of kids, we're no longer in your setting. So the culture that you establish when you are among one another no longer exists because we're in MySpace. So I would want to say, so how do those two things meet, right? Because when we were kids, we had the same energy, we just didn't have it in every setting we went in. Does that make sense? We knew how to switch based upon where we were.
Right.
So now the culture, we allow the young people to dictate the culture wherever they are.
Right. Yes, that's what I see now.
That's my concern.
Right. Understood. You was gonna say something?
I was gonna say, like, even with what Malcolm's saying, I think, like, as us that's sitting here and know what we believe in, if we continue to push the respect level of things, then they have things to pick from versus being that adult in the room saying, oh, well, that must be what their mom let them do, so I ain't even gonna say nothing.
Right.
But we the people of the community, and we all need to learn to stick together as a whole.
Right.
So to continue to push those things, you may not get all 10 kids, but if you get one kid out of that 10, I think that's better than 0.
Right, for sure. I'm with you on that. And also, we believe that change starts with me. Change starts with you.
Yeah.
So it's on us to be those change agents to establish that. So here at the Martin Luther King Center, Martin Luther Dream Center, right here, you think about it, when people come in that door, we speaking to them. They getting that. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's a culture that we establishing. When they come in that door, take them hoods off. That's change. And they're like, oh yeah, my bad. And then when we get in here, no destructive language. That's change. With this space that we got right here, that's our part in bringing this to the community and establishing this culture and establishing the standard and being disciplined in that way that we establish that standard. Hey, yo, this your boy Jay Joe, and you watching the Live and Free podcast.
They played together when they were in the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th grade. With the age.
Teaching all these children how to be things, otherwise wouldn't be reaching for. Spread my wings and soar. It don't matter if we on a mess on top of project floor. We just want some more. Up, win it. If you want it, gotta go and get it. Haters gon' doubt it, switch it up when they see you did it. But that is the motivation. That is what's giving us drive. The wheels don't ever stop turning. As long as you know how to ride. Now you win it. You ain't the top. Boy, you done did it. Now you're up.
The dream. This is where I grew up at.
There ain't nothing like home.
Boy, you done did it.
Here at the Dream Center, when kids come in here, it's on us to establish that culture. It's on us to establish the way it's supposed to be. So coming in here, you outside wearing hoodies, you outside cussing, you outside doing A, B, C, and D, and whatever else. But when you come in here in this space, when we got you, take the hood off, sir. Man, don't hide yourself. Take the hood off. That's us establishing that. You know, make sure that you're speaking to everybody. Talk to everybody. Speak to everybody. Pull them pants up. They're going to pull them up. They're going to take that hood off, and they're going to respect that. So even like to what Malcolm was saying, that's they rules they live by out there, right? But if we continue to keep reiterate this thing like this the way it is, this will become a part of the new culture that they will establish because they start to grow and understand, you know what? I remember you used to tell me, man, take my hood off. Now I get it now. I understand. I remember you used to tell me, man, you know, stay safe and keep my mind right and stay made. Now I get it now. I understand what you're saying because I know my grandma used to always tell me, be smart, baby, be smart. And it registers with me. Use my brain, be smart, you know?
Yeah.
I want to ask too, because I know, first of all, I believe the children are the future. But
That was your move?
but there is a difference too with some of our adults, right? Sometimes we're not able to get them to regulate, right? And them to do those things. So I can understand where there are young people who may not have. We get them for a minute, but the overall is not necessarily seeing somebody who is disciplined. You might be seeing somebody who is going to back you up when you get in trouble at school, who will come up there like, why was y'all talking about?
Yeah.
How do we also then make it a community thing? How do we talk to adults as well. I feel like
Right.
we all need people that we're accountable to that can
Right.
tell us, you know what, that wasn't necessarily cool how you handled it, without it coming to blows or coming
Right.
to getting cussed out or fussed at. Like, how do we create discipline within our culture where we don't lose ourselves? You don't have to totally not be yourself to exercise a certain level of discipline.
So I think it's all about approach. Like, you got to bring yourself to that level for each individual.
Absolutely.
Not just what you believe as. You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
like, you gotta come and say, you know what, she could be having a bad day.
Yeah.
Let me try to handle it.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry. Whatever. Is there any way I can help you?
Yeah.
How can we figure this out? How can we find a medium in this situation? I'm not even saying you're wrong.
Right.
So it's all about the approach. If you
Meeting
don't
you
have
where
the,
you at.
yeah, if you don't have the proper approach, if you come, if I'm yelling because I'm having a bad day and you come yelling with me, we both just gonna rise.
Right.
Nobody, it's not gonna come down. So
Right.
I feel like, and even with the children, like, even though if they could be dealing with something like you said outside of here, at home,
Absolutely.
at school, or anything
Yeah.
else, when these kids come in here, we do relationship building. We learn how to deal with each one of those individuals. You know, just a child, and we talk to them. How was school today? How was this? How was that? And did you have any issues? Anything you want to talk to us about? You know, they may not have that outside. We have parents that have to work 16 hours. You know,
Right.
we don't know the livelihood outside of here, but we know what we're giving them as a community to continue to teach them how to be alive and free. So.
Right. That's our duty. That is our duty to maintain that standard. That's what we're here for. That's what we're doing. So, going to like what you were saying, it's like it's relational as well. So everybody can't speak to this kid, and that kid's gonna respect them like that.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is relational, you know, because I could tell somebody something, man, hey, put your pants and take it up. The next person can, like, man, what? Who are you talking to? So a lot of it is relational. So part of our duty is to keep that standard in this space and whatever we can. No, we don't have them all day 24/7, but the time that we do have them here, they're gonna know they're gonna get the same consistency. So it goes back to that love. You're gonna get that same consistent love that we're gonna be here to open up the doors. We're gonna be here every day to greet you and talk with you and deal with you with your problems and issues and different things like that. No matter if you get it at home or not, but you know you're gonna get it when you come here.
And I think that age group, they just be wanting somebody to listen. If you approach them and give them the leeway of a respectful leeway of why, they say, okay, why you gotta express yourself in that manner? You know, like, what's going on?
Right.
And you give them a chance to speak for
Because
themselves.
they confuse and lost in
Yeah, so if you give them a chance to speak for themselves, you get different.
Right.
You get a different response,
Yeah.
and it be peace. So now you didn't set out and you did what you needed to do, and they also so now they can enjoy the festivities and they are welcome back and different things of that manner. But I feel like us as parents, we have a job to be parents.
Right.
The community have a job to build those different relationships. We have a job to listen, because some parents feel like, no, I don't got time to listen. I need you to do X, Y, Z. Us as a community, and they have our support,
Right.
so they can come to you and say, hey, Miss Kelly, do you understand this and that? Or can I just talk to you for 1 second? I just want somebody to listen to me. And that opens those doors.
And it ain't gonna be the same for everybody, because yes, it is something that will say, man, I ain't trying to hear that, man. Watch out, man. Get on up out my face, man, before we turn up. You know, we can't save everybody, and that's the truth. And then go back to what Malcolm was saying, like they have a certain way that they want to do things, and it's like they ain't trying to hear nobody. Yes, it is something that's like that, but again, we can't save everybody. You know, but we can do our part, and that's what we do. We gonna do
As long
our
as you go
part.
home and knowing you did your part,
You know.
I feel like that's the best day ever.
This is Malcolm Coates, and you are watching the Alive and Free podcast.
What's up, Malcolm? What you over there like that for? What's happening? You know what I mean? You feel like we attacked you or we wasn't rocking with you?
No,
But like he said, he's from a different culture.
But I still
He
understand.
is from a different.
no, I was just trying to see if I could get a word in. Is
Go
what
ahead.
I was working on.
Are you waiting on that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have at it.
Oh, yeah.
I had like 3 minutes ago. I was like,
When you get to start the third segment,
Yeah, there you go. Whenever you go, rock out, Malcolm. Go ahead, Malcolm.
So what I wanted to say, I had a couple different things,
Go ahead, do you
but
remember?
then y'all kept talking. So
my bad.
it's just all good. What I will say though is that sounds nice.
Yeah.
It sounds good.
Which part?
what Trey was just saying about the approach and being loving and patient and kind.
No, I ain't saying do all that.
You didn't say like, you didn't say, hey, baby, maybe you having a bad day.
Right.
That's loving, that's patient, that's kind.
True.
I'm saying that sounds nice, and in my opinion, that is how it should go.
Right.
The reality is, and it goes back to the culture I was talking about, because we feel culture so deeply, it's ingrained, we come to most situations believing that our culture is the right culture, which means the minute we see somebody outside the lines of what we established, we as adults especially, and dealing with kids, have a tendency to be like, take that hood off.
Right.
And greet, didn't you see that elder? Greet them when you see them.
Right.
Shake a man's hand, look in his eye.
Right.
And then we wonder why are they spitting venom on us?
Right.
We're not recognizing because we're making this assumption.
Yeah.
You already know the culture.
There you go.
You already agree with it. And now you're just being obstinate. You're just not willing to do what's necessary. And what I'm saying about the culture thing is understanding they have different values or whatever. That's why, because ultimately, for me, because we're talking about discipline.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Discipline without love is just force.
Okay.
I'm bigger and stronger than you. I can make you do what I need you to do.
Okay.
So you got disciplined, but it was by force, as opposed to being disciplined by love.
But that's what we were saying.
That's the parent part.
I didn't say y'all wasn't saying that.
Oh. Well, we
Just hear
said
him out
that's the
now.
parent part.
Hear him out now.
That's the,
No, but it's got to go beyond parenting.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. To Jay's point, all them kids coming in here.
Right.
So, again, and I think sometimes, again, we're a popcorn kind of culture these days, right? So we expect, I told you about the hood, I told you, look me in my eye. When I see you the next day, my expectation is you done fully evolved into the
Nah, it
culture.
don't happen like that.
No,
And so hear me when I say love is patient.
True.
Love is kind. Love endures, right? So, yeah. We keep saying yeah, like we ain't ready to cuss kids out.
Right, yeah.
When we see them out of their house.
Hold on, wait, Bob. You're right. Yes, you do get irritated and frustrated with the youth at times. Yes, ain't nobody gonna sit and act like you don't.
But it's not after day one.
I'm saying everybody does get frustrated at some point, like no matter what.
Real quick, again, part of our
phone. You gonna sit and say you don't get frustrated with no kids?
It's day one.
Y'all sit up here and do that, man. I'm walking off now.
That's what I'm
walking off now. Y'all do that.
Give me a hot second.
Go ahead.
And say
Keep
this.
cooking, Bob. Go.
Another cultural thing we have is kids should be seen and not heard. You best do what I say when I say it the first time.
That's a part of
why are we making
That's
these
when we
faces?
was growing
That's what we were
up.
growing up.
But hold
That
on,
ain't this
I'm not
day
done
and
with my point. Well, it is. We still believe that. No,
I don't know if
we're
that's
sitting here
true.
saying like, what's wrong with these kids? Why they ain't doing?
Right.
I'm saying, hear me when I say.
They believe
I think
system.
that's
They don't see
oranges
it wrong.
and apples.
It's not though, because again, what we're talking about is no, we just come with love and you are quick as hell to snap off on your kid if you feel like he done shot you some sass.
Right.
You thought he rolled his eyes.
Yeah.
Like you own that immediately.
What's up? This is Kelly, and you're watching the Alive and Free podcast. Booyah.
parenting.
Of course, parenting. Well, I'm saying
I'm a
you
mentor.
have.
I'm here for mentoring.
As a human, to me, you have less grace with somebody who ain't your blood that you consider disrespecting you.
Because I'm gonna look for. So with my kids, I'm gonna look for the y'alls to give them what they're not comfortable with giving me, because I am a parent. I have to stand with them as a parent. Vice versa. I'm gonna talk to your kids as a you already know. They gonna come to me and talk to me.
Understood.
You gonna do the parenting job.
That's that village.
So that's why it takes a village. I'm not a kid not finna come in here and say, Mr. Ray, can I talk to you? And I'm be like, yeah, sit down, cause what happened?
Right.
No, now if my kid called me and I'm gonna say, now didn't I tell you already? It's gonna be a different conversation.
Right.
Because even in what I'm saying about some of the things that we grew up with, it's not just because I feel like how I grew up was right. Everything that I grew up with was not right, but I will tell you that being taught to speak, being taught to shake hands, those things carried over and were really good, which is why I asked the question, how do we shift a generation who is not acclimated to that? Not because I don't think that you should be able to do what you want to do with your friends,
Right.
because me and my friends went to have big fun, as Claire would have said. But we did that.
Big fun.
But we did that amongst each other.
Yeah, right,
It would
right,
be
right.
if you were our parent.
Yeah.
Me, Jason, and Teray
Yeah.
would be running around in secret.
Yeah, you
Right.
know.
Doing what we,
You
but
know.
when we come back around
Right.
and we're in certain rooms, and honestly, it's preparation for the workforce, because you're not going into these people's establishments.
Yeah.
If you
Acting
can go
like
into
that.
these people's establishments
Yeah.
and have it together,
Yeah.
you can come in here and have it together.
Yeah, yeah.
You can have a great time,
Yeah.
have big fun,
Yeah.
but we gonna be respectful. I don't see what's wrong with that. And I have never lost my patience with a kid just because I told them yesterday one thing. It's the continuation
Yes.
of
Right.
you acting like you ain't heard me say for 35 days
Right.
in a row not to do this. That to me is willful. Only because when we were younger, you right. Not only did we get it on the first time, we get better get it before you finish saying it.
Yeah.
But that was the expectation. I don't have that expectation. I don't think we should. But I do think there is a way for us to teach. You got to be able to go into different rooms and maneuver in different. You just got to. You got to. Our kids. It's important for our kids.
Right.
to be able to
So like it's important like for us to establish that, and like again through those relationships that we have with the youth, talking to them when we have those sessions, when we talking to them, to establish like how you do put that down and start being more respectful over here, And when you out there, I mean, I ain't saying go do whatever, but when you over here, this is what you gonna do, and that carries on throughout life. So when you ask, like, just back to the questions, like, well, how do we establish that with them when they're not used to that? By continuously doing what we are
Keep
called to
giving
do.
them something.
Continuously keep giving them something that they can take back with them. Because I can go back when I used to be in the streets wilding out, and I get my hair cut by Frank Moffitt, and he always be laying jewels on me, stay laying jewels on me, and it's like, he always used to say, man, I don't know if it's getting to these youngsters. I don't know, man. I might need to be quiet. I might need to shut up sometimes. And I told him even when I got out the joint, I said, no, Frank. I said, man, when I was laying on that bunk, everything that you told me kept coming right back to me. And I said, you see where I'm at getting my hair cut? I said, I came back to where I knew the love was at. Because even when I was in my mess, you still love me. You still drop jewels on me. So the seed is getting planted. You can't dictate when it grows.
I agree.
So your part was still there that you did it because the seed got planted in my mental garden and now it's growing. And now here I am coming back.
Hey, this your girl Teray. You watching the Alive and Free podcast. Like
Yeah.
because I could just see.
the halo.
What's up?
Yeah.
What's up, Mom? Man, why y'all taking off? Hold up, man. What's up, Mom?
It's the thing though. So for me, as far as culture goes, I don't ascribe a right or wrong, a good or bad. You know what I mean?
Correct.
It just is what it is. I do believe, like Kelly said, some of the good things out of the culture was I learned to be respectful, shake hands, make eye contact. That's how you feel about that. That's not established as that is the way, right?
No, well, in my mentor program, it's the way.
Well, of course, but
If I'm in charge.
So what's the way then, Mom?
well,
Yeah, because I'm
but
like,
this is about no, the way is. That's a great question, Jay.
Yeah.
The way
I know we
is,
all like we like what's the way then, bro?
using the example of Alive and Free and the Dream Center that we're in. As you said, we have an established culture around here.
Yeah.
So we have decided we're not going to use destructive language, right? We're going to show respect.
Right.
We're going to treat everybody as equal, you know what I mean? Et cetera, et cetera. And so what we say is to people coming into this space who have different cultural views than us, we say, hey, to be in this space, this is the established culture.
Right. Okay.
And then we go about trying to convince them that our culture is the culture they should have. That culture you're living right now is going to lead you to either death or imprisonment.
Right.
We think this is the culture for you. Right? And so I'm giving an example of, so we keep presenting that in any way we see fit. In my opinion, it needs to be with love, what y'all said, right? And the hope is eventually you come our way, right? But it goes back to what I said though. when you approach it, one, from a right or wrong, but two, from a I am right and you are wrong, that message is going to be hard to sell. Let me try to put it another way. One of the things they used to say coming up in church, I'm with you, but hear me. They would say, go into the world and preach the gospel. Mm-hmm. And if necessary, use words, right? What they meant is set the example. Mm-hmm. The whole point being, if you set the right example, people will come to you. That you shouldn't even need to necessarily say, Jay, this is how you should live, da, da, da. Everything about you should say, this, you like how I'm living? Right. This, I can show you the way, which goes to the other topic I had brought up, which was discipleship, which is what we're really talking about is trying to disciple, especially when you talk about youth, young men and young women, disciple them into this gospel, this good news, which is, we can tell you how to stay free and alive. That's the good news that we're presenting to you. Right. Now, the question is, how is it presented? And I'm gonna shut up, but again, growing up in the faith, Christianity, a lot of times that's presented, and in my opinion, the point I was making, the same way we try to present this culture, which is, hey, Danny, you want to be saved? It's really good over here. Danny, like, I'm cool on that. Well, that's why your ass going to hell. The devil gonna punish you the rest of your life.
Hold on, wait, let me go.
And so then we surprised, like, what's wrong with Danny?
Right.
I wonder why he won't accept this good news I'm giving him. So Ninja did not tell you. Right. Jesus came, he died for you, paid the price. Now you can. Now you need to come on this way, Danny.
I got church hurt. Hold on, wait, let me say this. Okay, look, okay, cool. I get everything you saying, Brother Malcolm. You know. So all I'm saying is this, right? So is that wrong?
Is what wrong?
This culture that we establishing here at the Dream Center, or
again, I don't agree with right or wrong necessarily.
Okay,
but I think our way is the way.
Okay.
That's right and wrong. Goodbye.
But no. It's just a belief. So again, remember, culture is shared belief. I believe we are right.
Right. Okay. So all around the whole board, what we're saying is really, from just trying to strip it all the way down, is just how to conduct yourself as a good young man and young lady.
Yeah.
For sure. In society.
As an individual.
And by doing that, it will keep you alive and free. Cool.
Yeah.
But that's the same code of conduct that's in school.
Yeah.
That's in the workforce. That's in society. That's in the world. So it's not about a right or wrong per se, but it's about, this is the way it is. And if you can't do this, you ain't gonna be able to conduct yourself in the world the same way you will. If you go there, you train your child up in the way it should go.
Yeah.
And you know,
so all I'm saying is,
I got you. All I'm saying is, this is not like we coming with like chemistry.
Yeah, or making something up.
Yeah, this is how it is.
And I'm saying what you're saying is right. The only place we diverge at is damn, I almost lost my train of thought. Because you were saying that's the way the world is, right?
Yeah.
And so, to your point, so kids go into school knowing that there's an established culture in the school. So
way a code of conduct, the way you got to conduct yourself. If you don't follow that, then you get kicked out.
Right. I was just gonna say, and so they modify their behavior.
Go ahead.
They modify their behavior to fit into that cultural system. Right? You go to the workplace. You modify your behavior to fit into that cultural system. Why are you making that face?
Because your behaviors is something you created. You wasn't born with those.
But y'all hold on. Because I didn't finish the thought. Go ahead.
Okay, what you asked me.
Well, because you're making frowny faces. But here's my thing, Teray. You saying these behaviors didn't come out of nowhere. That's my point about modified behavior. So I'm me. I act like I act when I'm by myself or with people who I act like that around. I go into work, I modify my behavior to fit that culture. I go to school, fit that behavior. I go to church. Even I come up into the Dream Center, I modify my behavior. And
everybody faking.
Well, no. Hear me. Because I'm trying to get to the point where I'm saying I'm trying to get to the point where I'm just off with what you said a little bit. Which is, like you said, everybody fake. It's not necessarily fake.
No, I'm just throwing out.
But I'm saying all that is not you accepting a culture. That's you adapting to an established culture.
Okay.
Culture, again, is shared belief. I believe it. I'm saying you can come in here and act accordingly without actually believing in it.
Yeah,
and I'm
that's
saying,
good.
so
Yeah.
here's the small gap I'm talking about, Jay. Our goal should be get you to believe in the culture. Because that's what's important. That's what counts. That's what makes the change.
Right.
If you just come in here like I did,
Yeah.
took my butt to church every Sunday,
Yeah, go ahead.
having come from the club on
Yeah.
Saturday or somebody's bed Saturday night,
Yeah.
I adjust my behavior when I walk in the spot.
Right.
As opposed to when the time came when I actually believed that.
Yeah.
When I accepted the culture,
Yeah.
my behavior then changed based on that.
Got you.
That's my only difference.
Got you.
Because like I said, the other difference is just force, right? You
Yeah.
act right in school
So you
because
force
you're scared of the
difference.
consequences. You act right at work, you're scared of the consequences.
I
The day when you can come into the center, going back to your example, and you immediately flip your hood off, not because, here come Jay,
Right.
but because I believe. I don't need to hide my head.
There you go.
I can expose myself. That is a big difference in my opinion.
I understand. I understand what you're
I
saying.
fully understand.
Now you summed it all up. I get what
I
you're saying.
get it, because I too grew up in church, but when I got older, then it became personal to me. Does that make sense? So I
What you saying?
think it goes hand in hand, but I would say that there is in fact a change in the way that young people present themselves in professional spaces and things like that. If you notice, when the kids have jobs, it is not what it was when we were in there. When I worked at the Dairy Queen on 23, my very first job, I'll never forget, you had a certain number of seconds when a person walked through the door that you had to say hi. Now when you go into most establishments, if they look up, they still ain't saying hi. And McDonald's, if you go through the drive-through, they'll put the bag out the window before you, don't ask you, do you want no ketchup, no that. And it is typically, I'm saying there is a change and it is being accepted. And I don't necessarily think it's great, because it is an example of you carry that out into the world, into your interpersonal interactions as well. And I just don't think it's, I don't want to say healthy, I just don't think it feels or looks good the way that people interact with one another, especially our young people. I have seen a change.
Yeah, I see it every day.
Yeah, I've seen a change. And so when we talk about getting them to believe, I'm like, well, I don't know what we do, because we're allowing them to change the marker, the bar
the way it's
is
supposed
low.
to be, or whatever
The
you
bar
say.
is low for expectations of interactions and all of those things. I'm
It's
sad
good
that
content,
people
everything.
made you feel like that.
Feel like what? You know, we need a therapy session.
So the discipline is a seed. It's a seed that's going to grow. It's not going to grow today, and we might be dead when we see it, which means we wouldn't see it, but you understand what I'm saying.
Right, there you go.
Creating productive citizens in our community is a lifetime work.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
You didn't get what you got from Frank
Right.
in a day.
Right.
You didn't get what you got from the people that you listened to in a day.
Right.
I most certainly did not.
Yeah.
He very clearly did not. And you know, it's
Man, dang, why you do mouth like that? But we all a work in progress anyway. Everybody's
we
a work in progress
are.
anyway. Yeah, everybody is. It's a work in progress.
And it isn't until you bump your head a few times that you understand and know. And we just trying to figure out, how do we help? The one thing that I would love to be able to do is to teach somebody not to touch the pan to know it's hot.
Right.
How can I figure out how to tell you it's hot without you having to touch that sun?
You just tell them, and if they catch on, they catch on.
That's dang near
Yeah,
impossible.
Isn't it possible?
It's dang near impossible, because I gotta say, me knowing me, I need to know what hot mean. How
Yeah.
hot? What you mean?
Right.
I need to see. I gotta experience
Well,
it.
There's a scripture about that
Last
spirit
person
of
did that, man.
rebellion.
Got 5th degree, whatever, burn.
And no, that's
So
the
it's like-
reality. Or
Look at Daddy.
burn
Right.
to death, right?
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So yeah.
But yeah, man, this was
We want
good.
y'all to stick around, man. We got more of this coming for you. This is the Alive and Free podcast.
Absolutely.
I'm Kelly.
Malcolm.
Teray.
Jizzle.
Hey, we'll be back.
Yeah, I apologize.
On these streets where the sirens cry, dreams get stolen underneath the sky.